was thinking about Zen, and I remember that maybe 5 or 6 years ago we talked a little bit about Zen together, but
Yeah.
you weren't really into that, but you do appreciate it with a certain distance.
Yes.
And you talk about me about Brian Eno, and I was thinking about John Cale,
Yes.
which is deeply into Zen.
Well, John Cale's a talented guy. I don't know an awful lot of his work, but the bits I've heard I've enjoyed, yeah. I kind of, I'm interested in people like, say, I don't buy that many albums, something like, I'd never buy a Coldplay album. It does nothing for me. For me it's like IKEA, It's just, it's made for mass consumption. It's without a soul, as far as I'm concerned.
Coldplay, I think, is kind of ambient, but the real industrial ambient. The music that you would play in fashion shop.
Yeah. It leaves me cold. Maybe it's an appropriate name for the band. It's just.
It's a plate, a meal, Coldplay.
Yeah.
Cold cut.
Cold cut. Yeah, they were interesting.
Music for pigs.
Yeah.
Sorry, we gotta cut it.
It's just there are. I've heard a few things that I liked recently. I like Feist. I think she's a really good singer.
Sorry?
A woman called Feist.
Yeah, we have
Great
a
singer.
Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like her voice.
Really original.
Very joyous and very. There's a purity to it. Like everybody, people say things like, "Oh, PJ Harvey is great," and this and that. But her lyrics are very good. But I would find someone like Feist just way above these people. I would put Feist as almost like a young Kate Bush in a way. I think she's got a long way to go in terms of musically, but...
Have you heard her last album?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Absolutely great. I just think she's the best female singer I've heard in a long time. I mean, I can appreciate someone like some of those new singer-songwriters, Katie Melua and that, it's not for me, but I can appreciate they do have talent. But I think Feist has got something a bit more special.
Some soul singer too? The new generation of soul singers?
Some of them, yeah. Some of them. I've heard a few, but I can't even tell you who they are. I don't, I hear things now and again. I don't listen to the radio. I don't. There's a lot of stuff in England now. That's a new breed of bands like Kaiser Chiefs and that. They're very good at what they do, but I'm kind of...
Still read through, I think.
Of course, yeah. It's just a bunch of angry young men. Then you kind of look at them and you go, what are you angry about? You're being limoed around the place. Basically little white middle-class boys from the countryside in England whining about some, stuff. It's kind of... I wonder how it'll sound in 20 years. So, the Smiths still sound good.
Yeah.
And they always will, because they were important.
I read that the Joseph K album, another Scottish band, really famous in the 80s, has been elected album of the year by Uncut. The band from of Edwin Collins.
Oh yes, Orange Juice.
Orange Juice, and they elected this album as the Radiation album of the year, and which is quite funny because if you have friends that it's the same.
Yeah.
The same band.
Well, a lot of these people, they think they're a bit like a bunch of people standing around thinking they've just reinvented the wheel, very proudly looking at it going, look what we just made, and kind of going, well actually you didn't. This was here long before. Which is fine, Retro's okay if it's like snippets of different things. I take things, I'm sure, from everything I've listened to in the past, but it's not. It's not about copying other people. It's about, you know, have some balls, guys. You know, go and fucking do your own thing. You know, just have some imagination. You know.
As an artist, maybe you have the challenge to maybe to push some boundaries, or maybe to find your own way, or to express what is the real thing that you want to
Well, certainly
express.
in Ireland, my work is practically ignored because it doesn't sound like everyone else. But Ireland doesn't produce any worthwhile music, really. Damien Rice is very good, I think, for what he does. It's not for me, but it's very good at what it is.
I like Gavin Friday, you know.
Well, Gavin made a very good first album.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it very much. And I like the Virgin Prunes. But
Yeah, Virgin Prunes are great. Yeah, but Gavin doesn't really make. He's in a movie. It's just come out.
Have you heard the album Shack Tobacco?
Yeah, I don't like it.
You don't like it?
Musically, it's interesting, but I
I
don't
like the cabaret concept behind it.
Yeah, he was peddling that for a while, but the first album really is better, I think. The second one
He's
has
absolutely unknown here in France, you know. Nobody knows him
No?
in France. Gavin Friday is really...
Yeah. He's made some... the second album had a couple of very good songs in it, but gradually I think Gavin started hanging out with supermodels and, you know, Bono and his close friend Bono, so I don't think he really stuck at it. But definitely his first album was really, really good, and not typically Irish in any way, you know. He's doing something different.
U2 is a kind of cloud of the other Irish producers and
Yeah.
musicians.
I mean, U2, I don't listen to their records, but I respect them because they did a lot. They were the first band really to break through properly, and also they're so big. It's like, you know, talking about the clouds. You know, it's they are what they are. I will never have to worry about being that famous or any kind of stuff like that. So I think it's very hard to make pure records if you're that well known. Well, it should be easy technically because people will buy it anyway. I think people should be more courageous in choice of records they make. When you listen to Kate Bush, her new album Ariel, I think it's fantastic. It really reaffirmed my faith in music because it's pretty much close to the world I want to inhabit in my records. Just something that's not part of anything, you know.
I think it's a good situation to maybe to create music in Ireland because you isolated artistically.
Very isolated, yes. Oh yeah, very much. I mean, what I find amusing is like these bands like the Thrills or whatever. Do you know the Thrills?
Yeah, a little bit,
It's
yeah.
very light pop. But one of them came up to me and he goes, what do you do? They've been around for 5 minutes, and I'm like, well, I'm making my 5th album. They're like, huh? It's like, if it's not in the front row of their record store,
You don't exist.
you don't exist, you know. And especially in Ireland, it's very funny. I went to an awards ceremony last year, which was very boring. Obviously, I wasn't nominated for anything because they don't know me, but it's bizarre. It's like it'll be interesting to see what happens in England now with this album. It's the first release since the debut album.
Kind of rebirth or pivotal
Yeah,
moment.
very much.
Yeah.
It'd just be nice to actually be able to read the reviews properly, you know, in English, you know, for a change. You know.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.